Couch surfing is the term now commonly used for homelessness, especially when it comes to youth. There are an estimated 1,000 students in the Washington County School District who are homeless or are living in doubled-up conditions.
You know, they feel guilty about going to the fridge, the bathroom. You know, they have struggled finding a place to study. And I tell people they're one argument away from being kicked out.
This doesn't count those youth not going to school. The ever-increasing problem is one that can't be addressed by the local homeless shelter, Switch Point.
We've been open 3 years now at Switch Point, and to see the number of youth that we have not been able to serve has been heartbreaking.
The Youth Futures program, based in Ogden, Utah, has offered to help by providing services they already provide up north. Started by those who know firsthand, the shelter provides a safe place for those at-risk youth in need.
When I was a teen, my life experiences led me to decide to run away. And because there wasn't a safe place for me to go, I spent the next 18 years getting over the trauma of the choices I had to make during that 6 months of my life.
We don't want other kids to have to go through what we went through. If we can give them a leg up, if we can make them feel better about themselves, if we can assist them in having a more healthy future and not having to struggle for years with the trauma that they went through when they were a child, we can do so much to help these kids.
The plan is to build a 40-bed shelter for these vulnerable youth. The land identified sits just north of the Washington County Youth Crisis Center, which is owned by the state.
If we can provide a place for these vulnerable youth and who are not in the juvenile justice system but are without family connections and don't have a home, ultimately, it's going to be a savings to both the juvenile justice system and the adult criminal system as well.
Snow says it's still going to take legislative action to accomplish it. And while costs are still unknown, Snow says it may end up being a long-term land lease, allowing the shelter to be built. It will keep them off the streets so they aren't preyed upon by traffickers.
They prey on children who are unattached to families and who are homeless. And it's heartbreaking to hear those stories and the young people who are involved in that.
Those involved in the foster care system say while the shelter won't completely solve all the problems, it will serve as a one-stop shop to help those youth achieve higher goals and needs in their lives. It's said while many of the youth could attend college for almost nothing, many struggle to stick with it due to lack of support.
What we believe about that is that they, one, don't go ask for help when they're struggling, and two, they don't have the financial or emotional support to support their other, housing, transportation, food, groceries.
The Youth Futures supporters have already applied for a basic grant, which they should find out about by the end of September. If they receive that grant, the shelter will have to open an interim facility by March of 2018. Nika Allgood is donating $40,000 in memory of her parents, Jay and Roberta, from St. George.
I am so grateful for this opportunity to honor the memory of my parents and to honor their love for the community of St. George. And I am so grateful for the caring leaders in this community who have open hearts for the vulnerable youth who need their care. Thank you so much for all you are doing.
She challenges others to increase it to $100,000. In St. George, Melissa Anderson, CEC News.